time to end my lonely holiday and bid the country a hasty farewell. So on this gray and melancholy day, I'll move to a Clark Street hotel. I'll dispose of my rose-colored chattels and prepare for my share of adventures and battles here on my 27th floor, looking down on the city I hate.
What?
And adore. Autumn in New York, why does it seem so inviting? Autumn in New York, it spells the thrill of first nighting. Glittering crowds and shimmering clouds in canyons of steel, they're making me feel I'm home. It's autumn in New York that brings the promise of new love. Autumn in New York is often mingled with pain. Dreamers with empty hands may sigh for exotic lands. It's autumn in New York. It's good to live it again. Autumn in New York, the gleaming rooftops at sundown. Autumn in New York, it lifts you up when you're run down. Jaded roués and gay divorcees who lunch at the Ritz will tell you that it's divine. This autumn in New York transforms the slums into Mayfair. Autumn in New York, you'll need no castles in Spain. Lovers that bless the dark on benches in Prospect Park. Greet autumn in New York. It's good to live it Thank you so much. It's so good to be back at the Watermark for, I think it's my 14th or 15th time, with my new best friend, Markus Kaitila. Can you say that together? Kaitila. He came all the way from Finland, or Jackson Heights, which is equally far. We worked together this summer in Cape Cod doing the program Still Longing, which some of you may have heard us do in New York last year. And we just had such a great time. We said, what are you doing September 6th? Come to the Watermark. And we were talking about what kinds of programs we want to do in the future. And this is kind of our workshop of it. It is a program, it's not just American Songbook, it's really Americana. And I wanted to pay homage to some music that's authentically American, that's not just Broadway music. And the first composer that we're going to look at is Aaron Copland. Aaron Copland is a Russian Jewish immigrant, but for some reason he's considered like the most American of composers. Like he was very interested in capturing an American sound. And this is a group of songs that he wrote called Old American Songs. William Warfield premiered them in 1951. And he went around the country collecting different types of songs. And some of them he collected orally. The first one I'm going to do is called The Dodger. It's an actual campaign song from the 19th century. A ballad, a hymn, a revivalist song. There's some of my favorites, and I thought I would start off with this tribute to the first American songbook.
Candidate's a Dodger, yes, a well-known Dodger, yes, the candidate's a Dodger, yes, and I'm a Dodger too. She'll meet you and treat you and ask you for your vote, but look out, boys, she's a dodging for a note. Yes, we're all dodging, a dodging, dodging, dodging. Yes, we're all dodging our way through the world. He's a Dodger, yes, a well-known Dodger, yes, the preacher, he's a Dodger, yes, and I'm a Dodger too. He'll preach you a sermon and tell you of your crimes. But look out, boys, he's a Dodger for your dimes, yes, we're all dodging, a dodging, 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 yes, we're all dodging our way through the world. He's a Dodger, yes, a well-known Dodger. Yes, the lover, he's a Dodger, yes, and I'm a Dodger too. He'll hug you and kiss you and call you his bride. But look out, girls, he's a-telling you a lie. Yes, we're all dodging, a dodging, dodging, dodging. Yes, we're all dodging our way through the world. river where bright angels' feet have trod, with its crystal tide forever flowing by the throne of God. Yes, we'll gather by the river, the beautiful river. Gather with the saints by the river that flows by the throne of God. Soon our happy hearts will quiver with the melody of peace. Yes, we'll gather by the river, the beautiful river. Gather with the saints by the river that flows by the throne of God. That flows by the throne of God. And mothers, come sisters and brothers, come join us in singing the praises of Zion, the praises of Zion. Oh, fathers, don't you feel determined to meet within the walls of Zion? We're shouting around, we're shouting around, we're shouting around, we're shouting around the walls of Zion, the walls of Zion. Sisters and brothers, come join us in singing the praises of Zion. Come, fathers and mothers, come, sisters and brothers, come join us in singing the praises of Zion. Oh, mothers, don't you feel determined to meet within the walls of Zion? We're shouting around, we're shouting around, we're shouting around, we're shouting around the walls of Zion, the walls of Zion, the walls of Zion.
Thank you so much. If you are just coming in now, I want to say this is a program devoted to Americana, and those were all songs. The first song, "I'm in New York," is Vernon Duke, and I'm very nostalgic about that song because when I moved to New York in the late 80s, we used to go every year to Michael's Pub to hear Mel Torme, the Velvet Fog. It was always autumn in New York with Mel Torme, and I must have heard him sing that song many, many times. There's something a little sad about autumn in New York for me because it means it's the end of my summer vacation, which obviously was great. I have a great tan. I see my wonderful colleague Sarah there. We're going to start teaching at St. Anne's on Monday, which will be great, but it's always hard to change that gear. One of the songs that we talked about doing is, I didn't know it, it's a Civil War song called All Quiet Along the Potomac, which was, it was featured in Ken Burns' Civil War documentary. You might recognize it. But the source of the poem was, there was a report in the paper about one picket guard getting shot one night. It was all quiet, but this one guy was shot. And Ethel Lynn Beers wrote this poem about it, like in one go. And then it was set to music by J.H. Hewitt, and it's really just a beautiful folk song. And I wondered if you would help me by singing along a very short refrain. What do you think? And even harmonizing if you're, okay, so here's the refrain. All quiet along the Potomac tonight. That's it. Want to try it with me? All quiet along the Potomac tonight. If you want to throw in a little, all quiet along the Potomac, whatever you want, do it. So we're going to do, it's 4 verses. So you're helping me create this arrangement right now. We're going to do that after the first 3 verses, and then after the last verse, we're going to hum taps. Oh yeah? You excited about it? All right, here we go. We're creating art. All quiet along the Potomac tonight, except now and then a stray picket who's shot as he walks on his beat to and fro by a rifleman hid in the thicket. 'Tis nothing, a private or two now and then will not count in the news of the battle. Not an officer lost, only one of the men moaning out all alone the death rattle. All quiet along the Potomac tonight. All quiet along the Potomac tonight, where the soldiers lie peacefully dreaming, their tents in the rays of the clear autumn moon, in the light of the watchfires are gleaming. A tremulous sigh as the gentle night wind through the forest leaves softly is creeping, while stars up above with their glittering eyes keep guard, for the army is sleeping. All quiet along the Potomac tonight. There's only the sound of the lone sentry's tread as he tramps from the rock to the fountain, and he thinks of the 2 in that low trundle bed, far away in a cot on the mountain. His musket falls slack, his face dark and grim, grows gentle with memories tender, as he mutters a prayer for the children asleep, and her mother, may heaven defend her, or quiet along the Potomac tonight. Hark, was it the night wind that rustled the leaves? Was it moonlight so wondrously flashing? It looked like a rifle. Ah. Mary, goodbye, as his lifeblood is ebbing and splashing. All quiet along the Potomac tonight, no sound save the rush of the river, while soft falls the dew on the face of the dead. The pickets off duty forever. That was entirely Markus's suggestion. And thank you so much for helping us create that on the fly. I love it. So, for those of you who have ever heard me sing before, and I recognize a couple of people here who might have heard me, two or 300 times. I love the Broadway. I love the Broadway, and I usually sing a lot of the Broadway. And today, I thought I'd bring in two songs from the Broadway for this program. The first is from a 1932 musical called Americana, and the conceit of it was taking articles from the present day news and making songs and skits that fit it. And of course 1932 was, we were deep in the Depression. And so the first song, it really became the iconic song of the Depression. It's Brother, Can You Spare a Dime? Which is got the words by Yip Harburg and the music is by Jay Gorney. And I'm going to couple it with a song from the musical Shenandoah, which is one of the first Broadway musicals I saw in 1976. John Cullum played Charlie Anderson, who is the patriarch of this family in Virginia, and they're just trying to stay out of the war. And it's called I've Heard It All Before. So we're going to Broadway.
Yeah, we're on it.
They used to tell me I was building a dream, and so I followed the mob. When there was earth to plow or guns to bear, I was always there, right there on the job. They used to tell me I was building a dream, with peace and glory ahead. Why should I be standing in line, just waiting for bread? Once I built a railroad, made it run, made it race against time. Once I built a railroad, now it's done. Brother, can you spare a dime? Once I built a tower to the sun, brick
and rivet a line. Once I built a tower, now it's done. Brother, can you spare a dime? Once in khaki suits, gee, we look swell, full of the Yankee doodle-dee-dum. 500,000 boots went slogging through hell. I was a kid with a drum. Say, don't you remember? They called me Al. It was Al all the time. Say, don't you remember? I'm your pal. Buddy, can you spare a dime? Once in khaki suits, gee, we look swell, full of that Yankee doodle-dee-dum. 500,000 boots went slogging through hell. I was a kid with a drum. Say, don't you remember? They called me Al. It was Al all the time. Say, don't you remember? I'm your pal. Buddy, can you spare a dime? Show your colors, let's all go to war. The Lord will surely bless us. I've heard it all before. I've heard it all 100 times. I've heard it all before. They've always got a holy cause that's worth the dying for. Tyranny of justice, anarchy of law. We must defend our honor. I've heard it all before. I've heard it all 100 times. I've heard it all before. They've always got a holy cause that's worth the dying for. Someone writes a slogan, raises up a flag. Someone finds an enemy to blame. The trumpet sounds, the call to arms, to leave the cities and the farms, and always the ending is the same, the same, the same, the same. The dream has turned to ashes, the wheat has turned to straw, and someone asks the question, what was the dying for? The living can't remember, the dead no longer care. But next time it won't happen. Upon my soul, I swear. I've heard it all 100 times. I've heard it all before. Don't tell me it's different now. I've heard it all. I've heard it all. I've heard it all before.
Thank you so much. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the mood of the week that this program was put together. I had just arrived in Cape Cod and found out that that the assassination attempt on former President Trump had just happened. And I was doing this program really about longing and grieving and death in a church community. And one of the songs I sang was Hope by Jason Robert Brown, and the rector asked me to come and sing it again in church that weekend. But the song she really wanted me to sing was a song by Paul Simon called American Tune, which I didn't know, I didn't have it ready at the time, and it really is it's based on a hymn, and it made me think of another song that I love of Billy Joel called And So It Goes, which is also based on a hymn tune. And so I conceived of this little set. It's a little bit out of my normal repertoire, but they're so beautiful, and you're the first audience for these, so thank you so much. I wanted to also say the reason I started doing these concerts in May of 2020 was because we were deep in the lockdown of the pandemic, and my wonderful friend and neighbor Marcy Chapin kept encouraging me to come out and sing during the 7 o'clock applause, and of course I never wanted to because that seemed embarrassing. But then as soon as I started doing it, we immediately developed this wonderful community audience for song, and I sang 100 nights in a row, and this is just an extension from that. And if you're not aware, the Watermark was the first indoor venue that I was able to perform in May of 2021, and it just coincidentally, there was a photographer from the New York Times here that day. So anyway, it's very special for me to come back here, and especially now that we've moved downstairs into what I call 21 Below, which is the hottest nightclub in Brooklyn. It's sort of a day club, you know what I mean, sort of early. Anyway, this is our final set, and I know I miss a bunch of birthdays, so we will sing Happy Birthday before I let you go. Oh, but can we applaud the healthcare workers now and essential workers?
Yeah.
That's really the main reason we're coming together.
Sanctuary safe and strong to heal the wounds from lovers past until a new one comes on. I spoke to you in cautious tones. You answered me with no pretense. And still I feel I said too much. My silence is my self-defense. And every time I've held a rose, it seems I only felt the thorns. And so it goes, and so it goes. And so will you too, I suppose. But if my silence made you leave, then that would be my worst mistake. So I will share this room with you, and you can have this heart to break. This is why my eyes are closed. It's just as well for all I've seen. And so it goes, and so it goes, and you're the only one who knows. So I will choose to be with you. That's if the choice were mine to make. But you can make decisions too, and you can have this heart to break. And so it goes, and so it goes, and you're the only one who knows. Many's the time I've been mistaken, and many times confused. Yes, and I've often felt forsaken, and certainly misused. Oh, but I'm alright, I'm alright. I'm just weary to my bones. Still, you don't expect to be bright and bon vivant, so far away from home, so far away from home. I don't know a soul who's not been battered. I don't have a friend who feels at ease. I don't know a dream that's not been shattered or driven to its knees. Oh, but it's alright, it's alright, for we live so well, so long. Still, when I think of the road we're traveling on, I wonder what's gone wrong. Can't help it, I wonder what's gone wrong. And I dreamed I was dying. I dreamed that my soul rose unexpectedly, and looking back down at me, smiled reassuringly. And I dreamed I was flying, and high up above, my eyes could clearly see the Statue of Liberty sailing away to sea. And I dreamed I was flying. We come on the ship they call the Mayflower. We come on the ship that sailed the moon. We come in the age's most uncertain hours and sing an American tune. Oh, and it's alright, it's alright, it's alright. You can't be forever blessed. Still, tomorrow's gonna be another working day, and I'm trying to get some rest. That's all I'm trying, to get some rest.
Thank you so much. That is from Paul Simon's 1973 album, Here Comes Ryman Simon. The first song is Don't Take My Kodachrome Away. It's such a great album. If you have an opportunity to go to the promenade and sit there and listen to it. I was listening to this song as the sun went down over the Statue of Liberty, just streaming tears. I'm feeling like, oh, such a sad, beautiful American song. I think we're gonna sing Happy Birthday. Would you please just, okay, listen, the last time I gave a concert, I think it was Lydia's birthday, and I felt so bad that I didn't see you. That was back in March. But I know, raise your hand if you've had a birthday just recently, or there's one coming up. I know we have some August, we got a lot of friends. Can we do it? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lydia, and Richard, and Linda, and Ross, and I really have to write your name. Happy birthday to you. What's your name? Dorothy. I'm a friend of Dorothy. I'm so glad you're here. All right, I think I have two more songs for you, plus the encore no one asked for, and I'm just going to tell you a little bit about this song, American Anthem. It's written by Gene Shear. Gene Shear is from Westchester, as am I, and he's really most famous for writing opera libretti. He wrote the he's worked with the composer Jake Heggie. He's written a lot of opera libretti, operas that have been performed at the Met. This was a song he wrote, and I think he really conceived of it as just kind of like a James Taylor song, like a sweet song, and it really was taken up by opera singers and sung at, presidential inaugurations. Denise Graves sang it for Clinton's inauguration. I believe it was sung at Biden's inauguration. It was sung at RBG's funeral. And you'll often hear it in a rather stentorian operatic way, and I just think it's a sweeter song. It's an American anthem. It really is about, I think, personal patriotism. Like, what can I do for my country? What will be said about me? It's like, even though, I don't know, I think it's an anthem that we can all get on board with, wherever you are this time in your relationship to our wonderful country. And then I've got one more. I'm going to end with one of my favorite spirituals. He's got the whole world in his hands. And then I might have one more if you just really need it. But thank you so much to Markus Kaitila. Isn't that incredible? I mean, come on. The works and prayers of centuries have brought us to this day. What shall be our legacy? What will our children say? Let them say of me, I was one who believed in sharing the blessings I received. Let me know in my heart when my days are through. America, America, I gave my best to you. Each generation, from the plains to distant shore, with the gifts that they were given, were determined to leave more. Valiant battles fought together, acts of conscience fought alone. These are the seeds from which America has grown. Let them say of me, I was one who believed in sharing the blessings I received.
Let me know in my heart when my days are through. America, America, I gave my best to you. For those who think they have nothing to share, who feel in their hearts there is no hero there, know each quiet act of dignity is that which fortifies the dream of a nation that never, never dies. Let them say of me, I was one who believed in sharing the blessings I received. Let me know in my heart when my days are through. America, 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 I gave my best to you. He's got the whole world in his hands. 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 He's got all the power in his hands. He's got all the power in his hands. He's got all the power in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got you and me, brother, in his hands. He's got you and me, sister, in his hands. He's got the little baby in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got mother and father in his hands. He's got the stars and the moon right in his hands. He's got everybody in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. Thank you so much. Markus, please. Thank you so much. All right. The encore no one asked for? The encore Andrea would have asked for? All right. This is, I'm going to end with John Kendall and Fred Ebb's But the World Goes Round from New York, New York. And I hope you have a wonderful fall, and I hope I see you. We'll try to be back here in November sometime, okay? Or maybe your place, we'll work it out. Anyway, thank you so much for being here, and thank you to Kelly for inviting us back, and just thank you so much for coming to see us. It means the world to me. Sometimes you're happy and sometimes you're sad, but the world goes round. Sometimes you lose every nickel you had, but the world goes round. Sometimes your heart gets broken in pieces, but that doesn't alter a thing. Take it from me, there's still gonna be a summer, a winter, a fall, a spring, and sometimes a friend starts treating you bad, but the world goes round. And sometimes your heart breaks with a deafening sound. Somebody loses and somebody wins. One day it's kicks, then it's kicks in the shins, but the planet spins and the world goes round and round. The world goes round. The world goes round. Sometimes your dreams get broken in pieces, but that doesn't matter at all. Take it from me, there's still gonna be a summer, a winter, a spring, and a fall. And sometimes a friend starts treating you bad, but the world goes round. And sometimes your heart breaks with a deafening sound. Somebody loses and somebody wins. One day it's kicks, then it's kicks in the shins, but the planet spins and the world goes round, round and round and round and round. The world goes round and round and round and round.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Markus.